broadcast section first.
This is perhaps a game you'd rather not have played. I know you talked after the first game about wishing it had gone to penalties, but how important now do you take this game in the scheme of your season?
The most important one. Always the next one is the most important one, of course.
I mean, we're seeing, a lot of teams use the opportunity to use their squad and make a lot of changes in terms of their team selection. How difficult for you, though, is it sort of deciding your team because you haven't got the biggest squad to pick from?
It's always difficult to choose. It requires time, requires analysis, requires decision. This is the process, and you're going to decide for tomorrow.
Can we expect to see many changes?
You still have to see. You still have to assess some things and decide.
We've seen Manchester United been quite inconsistent recently. How difficult a place is it to go to Old Trafford?
First, it's a fantastic stadium to visit. Old Trafford is one of the biggest stadiums and more important stadiums in football, so we have to be motivated, and we are, and we want to compete and try to play well.
Is it always that, the stage, as you say, is such a fantastic stadium where your players can go and perform in that atmosphere?
Sorry?
You talked about how, the size of the stadium, the history behind Old Trafford.
The history behind Old Trafford is fantastic, so we have to enjoy it. We have to first play organized and then use our talent and compete well, because it's a fantastic stadium to visit, a fantastic team. So it's going to be very tough, very, very tough tomorrow.
This will be your 38th game this season. Are you starting to see any signs of fatigue in your players, either physically or mentally?
No.
That's credit to them, isn't it?
Of course, for the way they prepare themselves, the way they, on a daily basis, recover and the way they compete. Credit to all the players, of course.
In terms of, we talked about the size of your squad though, in terms of your sort of ability to get players off the bench and your options off the bench, have you got enough there at the moment?
No.
Is that why this month is key for you?
Of course.
And how are things going in
We are working on it.
Are you any closer to?
I hope so, yeah.
How difficult is this month in terms?
It's very difficult for all the clubs. It's a transfer window that is not the best one, because many players are involved in their teams. Sometimes you want to target and it's not available because he's playing in his own team. Sometimes you want things to move faster than they actually move, so it's a tough moment, but we are working on it.
Do you find as well, obviously teams will know that you're keen to bring players in to add to your numbers?
It's public, everybody knows.
Because of that though, do you think that those other clubs will look to get as much money as possible and the prices are inflated because of that?
No, it's up to us to find the right deal.
Are you confident then that we will see new players? I mean,
yes.
If we don't, are you concerned at all if it doesn't happen?
I'm confident, so I don't think on ifs.
You've certainly been linked to a lot of players this January, the latest one, Thomas Lemar. Any truth in that?
It's a lot of rumors, not only to us, to all the clubs, Most of them are not true.
Is he a player that you admire at all, or?
I don't speak about players that are not in our squad.
Do you have an idea roughly of how many players you would like
Yes.
to bring in? You can't tell us though.
I will not tell us.
And in terms of, obviously it's not just players coming in, we're seeing constant speculation about some of your players as well, that other clubs being interested. Have you had any inquiries at all? So you're confident that you're going to be keeping hold of all your players generally as well?
Yes.
One of those players, Adama Traore, attracting a lot of attention with his performances at the moment. Joshua Willems from Newcastle talks about just how hard he is to Mark. He's the fastest player, faster than Cristiano Ronaldo, he said. He is getting so many compliments about his performances this season. Do you have to keep his feet on the ground at all? Is he the kind of player that you sort of need to make sure he doesn't get carried away?
He doesn't get carried away. He's focused on his work.
And can the same be said, as I've talked about the speculation linking players elsewhere? Do you have to make sure that they're not distracted, that they're not reading this speculation and getting distracted about that?
I've told many times, things that are told outside, expectations that are created outside cannot it's not part of us, so we cannot control it. Even table and places that we are fighting for, all these things came from outside. So we are aware of what we have to do, and what we have to do is compete game by game. Don't look at anything, don't get distracted by anything, because like I say, it all comes from outside. So all the people involved should be aware of how we want to do things, where we came from, and when and where we want to go.
How busy is this month for you? Because you've had so much football anyway. We've talked about the relentless nature of it, that you don't really get time to do anything else. You're always thinking about the football on the pitch, your next game, but you've also now got to balance that with trying to get the players in as well.
Yes, of course, but it's not me doing all the things. We have people that work on that. I'm focused, and the squad is focused on preparing to compete, and only that.
And how is your squad looking? How's your team looking for this game tomorrow night?
It's going to be the same squad that was the previous game.
And the players that are coming back from injury, how close are they? The likes of Bolly, is he?
Yeah, Diogo made a scan yesterday. I think next week he can progress in the pitch. He can start his healing process doing okay. So hopefully he can start next week with us.
That's a big boost.
Yeah, it's important. The same as Bolly, and important, of course.
And just quickly looking back to the game against Newcastle, you had to come from behind again, something you've done a lot this season. Do you take that as a positive, that your players are consistently able to come back, or?
No, I take it as a negative, because we should try and score first. This is the way we want to compete. It's better for us.
Is that a concentration thing? What are they?
No, it's the game. It happens. Things that game. It happens. It happens.
Is it something you're sort of continually talking and
No, I'm not continually. I'm aware. Everybody's aware. So let's try and do it tomorrow. Let's try to manage better the game. Thank you.
Just quickly, Nuno, how's Pedro Neto developed as a player in his time with you so far?
Good. He's working well.
Has his role changed, developed? Has he learned more? What's his path?
You still have to improve a lot of things, but he's doing okay.
Sure. With Diogo's injury, that sounds reasonably encouraging, because it wasn't. It was obviously quite turned into quite a serious knock at the time, but it sounds like it's not too far away. Did you get
he's been away a long time ago. We didn't expect to be so serious, but he's healing okay. So, like I say, hopefully next week he can start in the pitch and running with the team. So then it's about his progressing and getting better, so we can use him in competition. Thank you.
Okay, results please.